Sia from USA Today for Joey. Joey, you transferred to a Division II school at one point. Is that right?
Yeah, I thought about it.
You thought about it?
I was already gone for the summer, so I wasn't gonna come back. Yeah, it was after my sophomore year, after the coaching change.
Can you kind of go through that a little bit? That's a big switch from a Division I school to a Division II, and what made you decide to go back
Yeah.
after you'd already left? Can you kind of take us through that?
Yeah, it was just our coach left, and I was really close with the other coach, Coach Grant, and I really didn't know Coach Smart at the time, so I was homesick still from my freshman year, and I was just ready to go back home. So I said I was gonna go back home and go to school that I used to go to their basketball camps when I was younger and stuff. So I was just gonna go back to Rollins. I had a couple of friends there, but these guys kept calling me and kept hitting me up, and I had some friends in high school that were like, "What are you doing?" This and that, and just called Coach Smart back, and he said I'd come back. So grateful for that. Nah, not yet. You're welcome.
Right here in the front.
Yeah, this also is for Joey. Jeff Washburn, Lafayette Journal and Courier. Lewis Jackson from Purdue was in here earlier, and the two of you are different but kind of provide the same kind of energy and role for your team. You're neither one 6'6" point guards or anything like that. And Lewis said he had seen you when the two of you were in a high school tournament in Fort Myers. I think he said it was his junior year, and he was impressed with your game and has kind of followed your career. Will this be an interesting matchup for you tomorrow? And what's it like to hear somebody from Purdue talking about following your career?
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. But yeah, I do remember watching him play in that tournament. We're kind of the same. Well, I think I'm a little bit taller, but he's a lot more athletic than me. I can tell you that much. I saw him in the dunk contest, but he's a great player. He runs their team. He runs the show for them, and he does a really good job of that. And he really hounds the ball. It's going to be a tough matchup. Really impressed with him. So I definitely got to bring my A game.
Next question right over here.
Yeah, actually kind of along the same lines. He says he's been following you. Have you been following him?
Purdue's always on TV, so you see him. I wouldn't say I've been following him all the time, but when I watch him, every time I watch him, he's really impressive, tell you that much.
Did you actually play head-to-head in that tournament, or did you just see each other and not actually play head-to-head?
No, we just saw each other. Never played head-to-head. I just saw him play a couple times. They're on the other side of the bracket, so.
Right over here in the middle.
Joey, can you talk about the defensive motivation for the last couple of games and what he's done differently? I know you talk about communication being a big thing, but has there been anything else that he's done to motivate you defensively, or is it just being in the tournament?
Just being in the tournament, just not wanting to go home. It's our senior year, all three of us up here, so we don't want it to end. So we knew we had to dig in and start playing some defense, and communication's been great. And even when our shots weren't going in, the defense has kept us in the game. So that's really it.
Another question down here in the front.
Yeah, this is for Brandon. Jeff Washburn, Lafayette Journal and Courier. You guys have, I think, as of including last night, you've taken 823 three-pointers. That's a good number of threes. But yet it works. It works for you. Just talk a little bit. I mean, I know you don't go into a season thinking, well, we got to average so many threes a game. But did it just kind of be something that's evolved with this team? And there's more than one or two of you that shoot them, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's something that has evolved. I think it's all part of our games, starting from high school, coming on up. James King, center who can shoot a three. Bradford Burgess, forward who can also play the four spot. And when he's in, at the four spot really spreads the floor. We share the ball well, and we all confident shooters and great players. So when we have an open look, we was taught to take that shot, and that's what we do.
Question over here on the right side.
This is for Ed. You guys are such a senior-laden team, but there's also a good amount of freshmen. And so how have you guys been trying to help them, now that they're in the NCAA tournament this freshman year, trying to help them with the jitters and excitement and whatnot?
Us and our freshmen have a good relationship. It started in the summer. We talked to them, just try to keep them level-headed about what's going on. They all want to get better, and they're very competitive too. So it just meshes well with us.
We'll go right here in the middle.
Tim Perrell with Richmond Times-Dispatch. Brandon, can you describe what your day has been like since last night?
It's been a lot of text messages, a lot of phone calls, a lot of people from Richmond, contacting me. But I mean, I guess they just rooting for me as well as my team. I think every person I talk to is not just happy for my success last night, but happy for the VCU team and the city of Richmond as well. So I mean, we soaking it in, but remaining humble and staying focused on our goals going into tomorrow's game.
Next question right here.
Hey guys, Stacey Clarity with the Fort Wayne Journal in Indiana. Joey, how you talked about your matchup specifically with Lewis, but just generally, how do you think you guys match up with Purdue?
Two different styles for sure. They play rugged, tough. They got two great scorers. It's gonna be a tough game. Hopefully, if we got to keep on getting stops so we can get it going our pace, I think that's gonna be really important. But if we do get caught up in a rugged game with them, I think we'll be able to compete and still have a good chance.
Next question right here.
This is for Ed. Ed, now that you guys have seen a little bit of tape on Purdue, and I'm sure you've seen them some on TV, what do you think is the single biggest challenge to facing them?
It's gonna be a physical battle, and if we match them physically, I feel like we'll have a good chance to winning.
Next question right here.
Joey, you're not really 5'10", are you?
I'm really not. I'm like 5'9" and 3/4.
Not 5'8"?
No, I'm not 5'8". I take that to heart.
I'm sorry. I should have said no offense.
Yeah.
But maybe just because the guys around you are so much taller.
Yeah. When I'm walking around, I think I'm 5'10" for real. I'm really sad right now.
Next question right here.
Ed, can you talk about having to guard more?
Watched a couple film on him. I've seen him play a couple times on TV. He's a good player. He can really get going. So I'm just gonna try my best, stay in front, contest all shots. Try to do my best to contain him.
Another question for the student athletes right here in the front.
Yeah, Joey, Richmond plays a completely, their offense and Purdue's have nothing in common, but there is that common opponent, and you're very familiar with Richmond, obviously. Did you guys watch any of that game, or does that, because they're so different, doesn't help you at all?
No, we haven't watched the game at all. I don't think we're going to watch it either because they play totally different. They play the matchup zone and then the Princeton offense. So I don't think we're going to watch any of that, to tell you the truth. So.
Question in the back.
Hi, Pete DePremio with the Fort Wayne News Sentinel. This is for Ed. The fact you've been playing, you would have played 3 games in 5-6 days. Is fatigue an issue at all, or are you so pumped now it's irrelevant?
Yeah, it's really irrelevant. I feel like during the CAA tournament, we played 3 games in 3 days, so this should be pretty good, pretty easy for us. I'm not tired.
Another question right over here.
Joey, y'all have kind of been the adopted favorite throughout the first couple of games, but you're going to face pretty much a hometown crowd, I'm guessing, with Purdue. Any thoughts on that?
We live for these times like this, everybody against you. It's going to be a packed house. They're really close. So, we're going to have to stick together. It's going to be like a road game like we're playing at Old Dominion. So, it's going to be a lot of fun and really looking forward to it.
Right over here on the left.
You guys were thought maybe you wouldn't get into the tournament. You've been playing with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder since that time. Is that chip still there? Or now that you've won a couple of games, do you feel like you've already proven yourself and now you're just playing to keep advancing?
Nah, chip's still there. It's always there for us. We had a goal before the year started to get to the Sweet 16. That was our last one. So it's our last game to get there. So definitely motivated. And I think we can do it. We just got to bring our A game.
Question right here in the front.
Brandon, you had that hand injury halfway through the year. A couple months, you missed 8-9 games. Last night, in amongst all the craziness, did you have time to think back to that and where you were a couple months ago and your season was sort of in jeopardy?
It's funny because the first person I talked to after the game was my father, and he mentioned my hand injury, and all he could talk about was how the injury helped me sit out and get my legs back into my shot. So I guess he looked at it a different way, as in me sitting out recovering from the injury is a way to rest my body. And he said the jump shot looked good, so I guess I'm using my legs fine. I credit that to the sitting out because of the hand. I mean, it's cool. It doesn't really affect my shot anymore. I'm thankful for it. It helped me learn and humble myself as a player.
Another question in the back.
Joe, if you guys win tomorrow, it'll be 53 wins in your last 2 years. That'd be the most ever in a 2-year span in VCU history. What would that mean to you as leader of the team and being the driving force as juniors last year and seniors this year to be the most successful 2-year run in the history of the school?
It'd mean a lot. You come to college to win games, and for us to do that with trying to do this after we had 2 NBA players, it's a big accomplishment for us, and hopefully we keep it going. But, yeah, that's great. I didn't even know that. It's awesome.
Another question, Marilyn.
Yes, this is for Brandon. So Joey leaves school.
Yeah.
Are you one of the guys calling him? And what are you saying? And how certain were you that he would come back?
I was his roommate first and foremost, and I told him that the sunshine in Florida is gonna get boring after a while. That's the only reason he went back, because the weather in Richmond is up and down. But I knew he was coming back. I knew he just wanted to go home and play on the beach and stuff. So there was no worries in my part. So I called him. I heard the smile in his voice, heard the smile in his father's voice. I knew he was coming back, and I just cleaned up his room for him. Yeah.